Hello everyone and welcome to day 5 of your Get Seen and Start Selling challenge. So today I want to focus on creating connections and starting conversations, because we've talked now through who your ideal client is, what your core message is, what your offer is, really owning that value and feeling great about the value that you truly give to those people that you serve and help. Getting comfortable with selling and coming from a place where you're selling with soul. And so the next piece of that jigsaw is about creating more of that connection and more of those conversations, because what we want to do is we want to be putting our message out there so that our ideal clients know that we exist. If they don't know that we exist, we can't help them. They might be searching for us. They might be searching for the answer that we have to their problem. So the way that we do that is partly what I've already said, right? It's about sharing your message, and it doesn't matter whether that's on written posts. So I've got a cold, I can't speak properly. Whether it's on written posts, whether it's Facebook Lives, whether it's videos, whether it's blogs, whether it's speaking from stage, whether it's networking, whether it's creating meetings, whatever it is, there are tons of different ways that you can get your message out there. But the difference between just saying what you do and actually really creating that connection is by sharing your core message with people. It's about coming from the heart and not just saying, oh, well, I'm a business coach, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, and just using the label. It's about saying the why around it, explaining why it's so important to you. You do this because, and these are the transformations that it creates. And so what I want you to think about today is how you create those connections. So do you reach out to people? Where do you speak? Where do you share your message? How do you create that initial connection? Because not only do you want to grab their attention with your core message, you also want to build on that and make that connection stronger. I'm sure you've heard about the whole, 7 people need 7 touch points before they say yes to buy. Well, actually, with social media and everything today, that's much, much higher normally than the original 7 touch points that people used to talk about. So the way that we do that is we need to create that contact, we need to create that connection, and it needs to be ongoing. We can't just expect people to sign up like that. We've got to build the trust, because at the end of the day, your ideal clients want to trust you. Not only that, but you want to trust them. You want to know that they're someone that you want to work with. So this isn't just one-sided. So I really want you to think about today, how are you building and growing that connection? Is it that you speak to someone once, they reach out once, you have a brief conversation, maybe you even have a sales call or something, but then you get super busy with the new clients coming in and you forget to do the follow-up. So a little bit about the conversation today is about the follow-up. It's about building and growing that initial connection. I know lots of people, again, feel uncomfortable about that follow-up. They feel like they're chasing people. But the truth is, people are so busy. I know there are so many times when I've wanted something, I've wanted to do something, but I've forgotten, I've got distracted, it's totally left my mind. And it's only afterwards that I've heard about it and I've gone, oh, what? I've missed that chance. I really wanted to do that. So don't assume that just because someone isn't there and saying yes and following up at the time, that they don't want to work with you, that they don't want your help. Sometimes it's because life's busy. Sometimes it's because now's not the right time. Sometimes it's just because they need to build that trust and grow that connection before they're ready to say yes. So I want you to start changing how you think about that follow-up. So instead of it just being follow-up, it's about growing and deepening that connection with your ideal soul clients, right? Because if they're your ideal soul clients, you want to be growing that connection. You want to be building more of a relationship with them because you want to be around those people. You want to be helping those people. So there's nothing icky about it. It actually feels really, really good. And it feels good to be grateful for that as well, to actually really tap into the gratitude around, wow, I'm getting to meet these amazing people who I love to work with. I'm getting to grow that connection with them. I'm getting to talk to them more often. I'm getting to share my gifts with them. I'm getting to share my expertise with them. And I trust and I know that they're going to say yes because I have the answer to their big problem right now. And I know that I'm the right person to help them. And I know that we are soul clients. Okay, so I want you to have a little think about that. I'm so sorry, should have brought tissues upstairs for me, but I want you to think about that soul client and about deepening the connection and about starting conversations, because it's so often in conversations that some of that magic starts to happen, but not if you get on that conversation or on that call with an icky energy. So sometimes maybe if your business hasn't been going well, maybe if you're worrying about the amount of money you're making, maybe if you start getting into that energy, and I know you'll recognize it about, oh, I've just got to sign up another person, I've just got to have another client, I've just got to. And I remember that feeling well from a couple of years ago. That feeling does not serve us, because when we get on a call with an ideal client, our energy feels off. They don't know what's off. They don't know that it's because we just really want to sign them up. For them, it feels icky. It feels like there's something out of alignment. It's really important that when we get on a call with someone, our focus is not on us. It's not about I need to sell. It's not about what do I say. It's not about how do I come across. It's not about you at all. If you feel yourself doing that, you need to really notice where your focus is, take it off you and onto your client, because that's when those conversations can start to feel really good. If you're there to really serve, all of your focus, 100% of your focus should be on that person. And when it's on that person, that's when it feels great. We talk about, one of the things that I learned at the very beginning of coaching was that we have 3 levels of listening. The first level, which all of you will recognize, and when I heard this years ago, it was a shock for me. It's quite a realization. The first level is when you're having a conversation with someone, they start talking about something, they say something like lock the door, and you start in your own head going, lock the door, or did I lock the door? Blah, blah, blah. You start thinking your own thing while they're still talking, and then you kind of jump back into the conversation, but you're not truly present in that conversation. You're not really listening. Your focus is actually on you, not on them. That's level 1 of listening. Level 2 of listening is when you are listening to them, you are focusing on them, but it's taking effort. So you're having to like really concentrate on what they're saying, and you're listening to the words, and you're very specifically listening. That's level 2. Level 3 is when you really get into alignment with it, and you sit back and you listen not only to the words that they say, but you listen to their body language, you listen to the tone of their voice, their intonation, you see what else they're saying beyond just the words. That's the space that you want to get in when you're having those conversations with your soul clients. You do not want the focus to be on you. You don't want the focus really to be on having to really concentrate on the conversation, because that can feel hard, and it definitely doesn't feel in flow. It doesn't feel amazing. The conversations that feel fantastic are when you get into that level 3 listening, when you're listening to the whole person, you're taking it all in, and you're recognizing, yes, what's this person saying, but also what are they not saying, and how can I address some of those things to really help them possibly over the barrier or over the boundary that they might have put here. So maybe they've got fears, maybe they've got worries, maybe they've got anxiety around saying yes to you. For no real reason. We all can have worries about making a big investment or saying yes to something we haven't done before. If you don't address those, then they're going to get off the line. They're not going to say yes. And that's why that level 3 listening is really important, but also because that's when you're at your very best. It's when you're really present in the moment. And when you're present in the moment, not only are you truly serving that person that you're having the conversation with, but you're actually truly serving yourself, because it's not that often in life that we get into that place where we are absolutely present in the moment right now, not worrying about what happened yesterday, not worrying about what's going to happen in 5 minutes, just being present, being in the conversation, being in absolute flow. So I want you to think about, firstly, what level of conversation are you mostly being in? Is it level 1? Is it level 2? Is it level 3? Can you practice being in level 3 more often? Okay, so just choosing to be present, choosing to put everything else away, choosing to really look and listen and tap into that person and get into flow with it and enjoy the conversation. If you're feeling worried about having those conversations, it's because the focus is on you. Take the focus off you and instead think, how can I really help this person? What does this person need right now? What do they need to hear? What do they need to see? How can I serve them the most? So shift your energy and your focus to them rather than having it on yourself. And remember, this is about building a relationship, because people won't always say yes straight away. Not only is it just about building a relationship, it's also about showing up as the expert. So you need to remind yourself, probably mostly, that you know the answers, you know what this person needs, you know how long they need to work with you, you know how intensely they need to work with you, you know what kind of things they need to be doing to get the results that they want. Trust that, own that. You are the expert. Don't let go of that. Don't give that away. Show up as the expert as you have that connection, that deeper connection, and those conversations. I'm leaving it at that today because I'm full of cold, but I hope that there's actually tons of value in that you can go and implement and take action on now. So as usual, go and post in Dreamcatchers. Tell us about what level of listening you do most of the time. Tell us about how you create those connections, how you grow them, and how often you have those conversations. So do you always have those conversations with ideal clients? Do you sometimes, maybe you choose not to have those conversations at all? And if that's the case, what do you do instead? That would be fantastic to hear. Have a fabulous day. I will see you tomorrow on the absolute final day, which is super exciting, and I've got something great that I want to share with you all tomorrow. So make sure you show up tomorrow, because tomorrow is epic. You'll be getting tons of value. Sending my love. See you then. Bye.